Hey, I'm Mike, and welcome to Riding in the Ozarks. Today we're going to talk about the Harley Davidson electric motorcycle, the Livewire, and the recent recall they had on that model, as well as Harley Davidson spinning off a new division called Serial 1 to handle all the e-bikes that they've been developing for the last 2 years. Now, this video is broken up into chapters, so you can click on the different chapter down there if you're not interested in one or both of these subjects. You probably already know that Harley Davidson is the oldest continuously operating motorcycle company in America. They have a long heritage going back to 1903 of creating motorcycles. In June of 2014, they announced their first electric motorcycle, the Livewire. A month later, I was able to sit on one at a dealership near me. Yes, that's a picture of me back when I still worked for the man and I couldn't grow this righteous beard. The Livewire went into production a mere 5 years later. What's the hurry to bring a $30,000 motorcycle to market with a 146-mile city range? Oh wait, maybe 95 miles combined stop-and-go highway range. And if you're not stopping, like a trip down the interstate, the range is going to be even less. In fact, for me, I would have to trailer the bike to the nearest Livewire certified dealership. In October of 2020, they issued a recall due to a software issue related to the onboard charging system. Harley had 2 reports of a loss of propulsion and investigated, and as a result, they discovered an issue. So the recall covers just over 1,000 motorcycles that were produced in approximately a 6-month period. They expect only 1% of the bikes may actually have the issue or suffer from the malfunction. According to my math, that's about 10 bikes. But the recall covers all 1,000 motorcycles produced in that period because they want to make sure everything is updated and safe. Let's talk about the lack of propulsion and what that means for a second. Imagine you're sitting at a stoplight. You have a green light to turn left. There's a break in traffic, but you've got 3 or 4 lanes to get across before the oncoming traffic catches up with you. That's not the place to have a lack of propulsion. Or perhaps you're cruising down the interstate in a metropolitan area with 5 lanes of traffic on each side of a divided highway, and you're in the far fast lane, and suddenly you lose propulsion. It's as if you turn the engine off, but you can't clutch the motorcycle. They don't have a clutch. You can't safely coast to the shoulder or somewhere else. They're going to drastically reduce speed as I understand it. Now, I've not actually ridden one of these motorcycles, so I don't know exactly how that works, but I know there are several other models of motorcycles now that are clutchless. Honda had a Silver Wing. My mom even owned one and I've ridden it. I've never turned the engine off while going 60 miles an hour down the highway to see what would happen, but it doesn't sound like fun. I've not had the opportunity to ride one of these $30,000 wondrous electric motorcycles just yet, but if you want to know more what it's like to actually have one of these bikes and ride it for several weeks, you can check out Flipnaw's channel on YouTube.
Welcome folks, Flipnaw here. Today I am on my Birch Harley Davidson Livewire that they let me borrow because I'm not looking a gift horse in the mouth right now. I'm sitting on the Livewire. I'm riding into the Brapstar garage and I'm going to talk about the first 24 hours of having in my possession a electric motorcycle and the ups and downs and the things that you got to learn and the things you got to think about because like certain things, it's a new world.
Flip has had one for a couple weeks now and he's posted several videos and talked about what it's like to go from a traditional motorcycle to the electric motorcycle. Flip, thanks for the content and I love your channel. Back to the recall. As I understand it, you can take the bike into the dealership and as I mentioned, it's a quick software update. You probably can have a soda while they get it done if you make an appointment. Also, if for some reason you're concerned about riding the bike to the dealership after this recall has been announced, you can call Harley Davidson. It's my understanding they will come and pick the bike up, flash it, and bring it back to you for no charge. There will be links to Flip's channel in the description down below, as well as a link to the actual recall on the National Highway Transportation Administration website. That's a mouthful. On to the e-bike stuff. Well, when I listened in to the Q3 earnings call, Harley Davidson announced that they were going to be spinning off a new company called Serial 1 Cycles, and that their e-bike development would all be taken over by this company.
In addition, we decided to outsource and restructure our e-bicycles business, creating a new venture with minority equity participation. This approach allows us to have measured participation in the e-bicycle market while maintaining clear focus on key motorcycle segments. This reduces complexity at the motor company and allows the new company to operate independently with agility without risking brand dilution. The bicycles will be marketed as Serial 1, powered by Harley Davidson.
Serial 1 is in relation to the name of their very first motorcycle back in 1903, the Serial number 1. So, if you look at the new e-bike and compare it to the Serial number 1 model from 1903, you'll see some obvious similarities. The new bikes won't be branded as Harley Davidson, but they will still say powered by Harley Davidson on them. Harley has been working on prototypes for e-bikes for nearly 2 years. We don't know what the price is. The expected top range is between 20 and 30 mile an hour. Yeah guys, I'm sorry to interrupt here, but I realized when I was editing that video I said top range instead of top speed. And I figured I better correct myself, otherwise somebody will be commenting about what a dumb Harley rider I am and I don't know the difference between range and speed. So yeah, 20 to 30 mile an hour, top speed. Back to the video. In this image, it has a premium leather seat and leather grips. Now those may not make it to the final product, and I'm not sure I want them to. Also note the lack of fenders. Now, some current e-bikes do not have them and some do, but this definitely leaves room for after-sale parts and accessory upgrades, right? Something Harley is known well for. It has an embedded tail light, which looks okay as long as it's not impossible to service yourself. And is this supposed to be a headlight? I don't think that's going to be as easy to upgrade or replace. But hey, it does have a belt drive, just like its big brothers. I must say, I've never even considered an e-bike. It's never crossed my mind till now. Am I really that much of a Harley Davidson fanboy? Or maybe it's the lack of expenses related to insurancing and licensing, and the fact that it'll get me to work in twice the time but less than half the expense. Right now, I work from home most of the time, and if I do go into the office, it's only a couple miles away, so twice the time is an extra 5 minutes. Look at the 50cc scooter market and how popular that's been. I'd much rather have one of these than a scooter. Well, maybe one day I'll get to try one of these new e-bikes from Serial 1 Cycle. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you do that YouTube thing, check out the content on my channel, and you can subscribe down below. Don't forget to ring that bell to be notified the next time I drop a new video. And as always, thank you for your support, stay safe, and keep on riding.